Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Demoniacal Fit F Soldier. This is the blue version. I believe there's a different colored version out there as well. And essentially what this is a repaint of Captain Ginyu to recoup some costs and to hopefully have enough money to make more figures. I'm guessing that's what their plan is. It's almost exactly the same figure. It has different hands and different boots and different head. Otherwise, same exact figure. So there's not going to be a ton to talk about here, but a little bit. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 7.5 inches tall, just a little bit over that if you count the hair poof. And that's going to make him just about 19 centimeters. So just like Captain Ginyu, he's humongous relative to the other SH figure arts you're going to have in your collection. He makes Goku look very small, which means he's going to be very large. Very, very large. If you want to hear more on that, check the Captain Ginyu review. This guy doesn't have a lot of accessories either, so you're getting a whole lot less for your money. I don't know what the price point is. This is my buddy's. He let me borrow it, so if he's cheaper than Ginyu, then that's fine. If he's the same price, then that blows. Speaking of which, let's talk about accessories. We have two different sets of hair. It's the same sculpt overall, but one has a little cutout for the scouter, one does not. And then we have the two different faces, which can swap out. We have the neutral face, and then the yelling face. And the sculpt is good enough. It's a little bit soft. And then the paint is terrible. The yellow paint is painted, and that's not good. And there's like green peeking through, which makes me think it's actually the blue peeking through. And it just doesn't look good. It looks like a knockoff bootleg third-party figure, which it is, but that's up to you to decide if you want to pay for that or not. It looks like what it is. It does not look like an official release, making sure you guys are aware of that. And then we only have two sets of hands. We have two fist hands and then two style pose hands. That's it for the accessories on this guy. A whole lot less in the package. Who knows? Hey, his arm fell off, and I don't think I even touched his arm just then, did I? Well, hey, third-party figures. That's going to happen, maybe, I guess. I don't know if that's going to go back on without heat. Doesn't feel like it. Actually, it feels like it is going on and just not staying. Well, that might be an issue. You have to expect that kind of stuff when you're not buying real things. He's got a ball hinge for the neck, can't really use it. Just like your regular SH figure arts, it's not a good design. And because of his hair, you can't really pose his head very well anyway. He does have a ball peg for the neck, but you can't move that. Really at all. So that's useless. The head really can't be posed on this guy. Not the best design. Shoulder pads have their own hinge, which is nice. Still kind of ugly, but very similar to what Bandai has done, so I guess that's okay. You do have a butterfly joint in here, kind of. It really just kind of rocks back and forth within the armor, which makes it useless. You have a ball hinge for the shoulder, which brings the arm up horizontally, which is functional enough, and then the arm falls off. So you have full rotation, and that's okay. Designed basically the same way as the SH figure arts, by the way. That's pretty much standard. However, theirs don't fall apart like this. So you have a bicep swivel for the arm, double jointed elbow, which works okay, but it's really not sculpted at all and kind of ugly. And having this gold metal in there is not attractive at all. You saw it kind of when I took the shoulder apart, but you can always see it on the elbow, and that's not good. For the wrists, we have a ball hinge, which is fine. It's just like your standard SH figure arts. However, the hands have that little wrap going around there, so that kind of limits the posability significantly. You can't really do much there. For the torso, it's just the same as Captain Ginyu, so you have this giant hinge combo with the ball peg, and it's almost useless for anything other than really dynamic poses, which make him terribly, terribly gappy. Not worth it as far as I'm concerned. I guess some of you might like that, so hey, knock yourself out. It does lean side to side a little bit, but again, it's very gappy. It's just not well designed. There's really no way to pose this thing without it exposing itself, and that's not good. Waist twist does work, so give them some credit there. That's fine. These guys are on flaps. Legs can rotate forward and back. They are still floppy. Going out to the side, there's a hinge that doesn't really work on either leg for this guy. That is not the hinge that you're seeing. That is the loose ball peg that holds the legs together. So that's not good. Thigh swivel, completely frozen. Double jointed knees work well enough, but are entirely ugly, have a giant flat spot on them, not a good design. And then for the ankles, slightly different boots than Ginyu, but overall same design. We have a little tiny hinged ball peg, which lets the foot move forward and back a little bit. very, very little bit. And then you can see there's paint issues with that. A little bit of side to side, but almost done. And then we have a giant toe hinge, which is too far back on the foot and has a peg, not a peg, but a lump sticking out on the front. So yeah, the best thing about this guy is the paints are flat and looks kind of nice in that regard. But all in all, it does have a very low quality feel to it. I honestly can't recommend these bootlegs, or they're not really bootlegs, these third-party figures, because eventually we're going to get them from Bandai. And these are just not up to snuff. They're not good enough to warrant the purchase as far as I'm concerned. These are for somebody who wants to be that kid on the block who's got the cool new thing until everybody realizes it's not a real thing, and then it's like, well, it's not very good. So, I don't know. I could see people wanting to flesh out the rosters, which I do too, but I don't think this is the way to do it. Personally, I don't have that much against it ethically, although they are using copyrighted material, so that's a problem. It's not, what I was getting at is it's not the same thing as taking a mold and copying it, like the Datong figures or whatever those, I think it's Datong. Anyway, that's not the same thing as this. This is, at least they designed the figures themselves, so it's questionable. I mean, it's definitely still not okay that they're using copyrighted material, which they shouldn't, and it's not for like one-off art pieces. This is mass production, so definitely 100% wrong. I don't know how many of you care about that, but I care about it enough, and the figure's not good enough to override me caring about it a little bit. So I'm not going to buy them. If you guys do, that's on you. I don't recommend it. They're not good enough, and they probably shouldn't exist in the first place. So I'm for like accessories and stuff like that, but not full-on characters. That's just not right. Somebody's not getting paid for what they should be getting paid for, and that's not okay. Think if it was you. Think if you were Toei Animation and you had the rights to these things, or if you were Akira Toriyama, and then somebody else started making money on them. That's not okay. So I don't like that. And so there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider doing it, because I do have new videos up just about every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.